Hey, Crosswinds. Oh, what day is it? What's on my face? What? Oh, I was wondering where that Cheeto went. Oh, is this what I look like? Guys, quarantine is not treating me well. Don't worry, I'll be right back. Just like. Boom, that's so much better. I feel much better. It's more like I'm, how I feel when I'm with you guys. So, this morning we are. Oh, let me set this up just for a second so I can see it. Hi, that's much better. Hey, how are you guys feeling? This has been a crazy week, hasn't it? It's been just crazy, and I'm so glad that we get a chance to kind of sit down together this morning and talk a little bit about our lives and maybe like what is so crazy about it and how we can continue to grow in our faith and follow Jesus and in this time even now. And I think that we can totally learn something from all of this shelter in place ruling and I'm learning things, so I'm hoping that you guys will be able to learn something too. Uh, so level up. This last week we level up middle school. This last week we started a series at our church called Fermata, and so if anybody who's watching this video plays music, you guys already know what a fermata is. A fermata is this idea where you slow down over a no or over a pause or over a rest, where you slow down for a specified time. Now, if you were in band, you probably knew that already, but also I failed that part in band. I missed it. But if you get a chance, go back and watch Andrea Coley tell us about what a fermata is and what that looks like with a string quartet. It's a really cool example, and I would normally show you the video at church, but we don't really have that opportunity with the way things are right now, and I'm just kind of recording here from my house just to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about this idea of fermata and what that might mean for us as level up students or middle school students. And I think that this is a really challenging topic for me specifically, because I am not a slow, quiet person. If you've never met me before and you're just happen to stumble upon this video, my name is Zach, and I am the middle school and level up director at Crosswinds Church in Livermore. And I am extremely loud and energetic and love to have fun and run around and play dodgeball all the time. And it's awesome to be that. That's a gift that God has given me, to be loud and fun and crazy and sometimes a little over the top. And it's definitely a gift, and God has definitely given it to me. And I think that at a party, like, I'm the life of the party. Like, when I go places, people love to have fun and go out and like be just have all this fun stuff, right? That is something that I really enjoy, and it feels like my element. It feels like something that is about me. So that brings us to talking about fermata. Fermata, this idea of slowing down our pace, maybe quieting down how loud we are, and boom, challenge initiated to me. It's not easy. It's not easy for me to slow down and enjoy parts of the day because I am so excited to get from one place to the next. And it is just a crazy, awesome thing that we are not only trying to do this slowing down process by living this way right now, but also we are slowing down in our day-to-day lives because we are told to stay in place. We're told to stay in place. A good example of how fast I live or how fast things happen is like the example of eating food. So how many of you, as you go from one sports program to the next, realize that you're just eating as much food as you can in between so that you have enough energy to keep up and run that next mile or kick that next soccer goal? I know that when I was in middle school, I experienced a lot of that. I went from basketball practice to swim practice to band rehearsal, and it just felt so overwhelming to go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and then to also have to somehow finish all of my homework. One thing I would suggest, don't try to skip doing your homework and blame it on the dog. I tried that once, and it didn't quite end well. Well, I'm sure you guys can relate to this idea. And as we have been inside for the last couple of days, and we as a church family have started talking about this idea of fermata and slowing down and what that looks like, I realize that there's something significant in us slowing down. Even now, I find myself trying to fill the gaps in my day with talking to people by video chat or going on Instagram and scrolling to see what the new funny video is. I find myself filling every little nook and cranny of my day. And I think to myself, is that what we're supposed to be doing? Is that how we're supposed to live? Your parents today are going to be talking a lot about food and how we sometimes just power through our meals and power through different parts of our day. Like, how quick can we get this done? I need to finish this by this time. Our homework, we're trying to get it in and out and done. And I think that is the truth. That's we want to fit in as much stuff as we can because we don't want to miss out. So that brings us to our question today. What if we slow down just a little bit? And I'm really challenged by this. And I think that maybe you might be too. You might be in the midst of having maybe a little less homework, maybe a little less time where you're trying to squeeze in one more episode on Netflix, where you can maybe just slow down a little bit. So last week on Sunday, Pastor Chris shared with us a psalm, and it was Psalm 3, and it says, "O Lord, how many are my foes? Many are rising against me. Many are saying, my soul, there is no salvation for him in God. Selah. But you, O Lord, are my shield about me, my glory, and the lifter of my head. I cried out around to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. Selah. I lay down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me, and I will not be afraid of many thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around. Arise, O Lord, save me, O God, for you strike all my enemies on the cheek, and you break the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Your blessing be your people. Selah. Now, this psalm was written by King David, and this was actually at a time in his life. He was a little bit older, and his son Absalom was actually after him. And if you want to read more about that, I definitely suggest you go and check it out and see that whole dynamic of King David and his son and what happened there. But this psalm sticks out because of a specific word that he kept using, and the word was Selah. And Selah is a Hebrew word for break or pause or slow down. That even in the midst of his enemies and in the midst of his him being pursued, David is looking for a way to slow down. he is writing this poetry and this language in a way that he stops and takes a break. Maybe you're in that place today. Maybe you need to find a way to take a break. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. There we go. That looks better. Maybe you're in a place where you need to take a break today, where you need to ask that question. What if I was to slow down? What if I was to take a break? And maybe you're not in that place, but what I want us to do as a level up and middle school students, I think that this is going to start with our meals. I think that that's a solid way that we can start to begin to slow down, even in this time of already feeling like nothing is happening. There are no sports, everything seems to have been canceled. And so there are none of these things that are going on. And I think that one of the things that we can still kind of rush through is our food and eating. Honestly, you saw how it was at the beginning of this video that I love Cheetos. And I have eaten probably way too many Cheetos in the last couple of days. And so one of the things that I think is an easy way to start to slow down is in our food. Slow down. Enjoy your food. Enjoy the meal that mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever is bringing food to you. I would say enjoy it, savor it, think about it, remember it. These are all things that will help us to slow down. And it might even help us to calm some of these worries that we might have about our world. I have talked with a lot of people this week, and they shared with how they are feeling overwhelmed and anxious and frustrated. And you know what? I think those feelings are real right now. But I think that they are also really hard to deal with as a middle school level up student. What do you do with that? So I'm going to give you a little hint here, and then we're going to finish up. So give me 1 second. I'm going to do a quick one of these. All right. So video magic. I am learning it, figuring it out. All right. I saw on the internet a very good illustration of how to deal with worry, or one of the things of what worry is like. So I have here a glass, and in that glass, it's full of water. Refreshing. But as I hold, if I was standing up, I wouldn't be able to rest my arm or prop it up in any way. And I would just be holding this glass of water in front of me. Now, the longer that I hold this glass of water, it becomes heavier and heavier in my hand, even though the weight of the glass is not changing. And as it gets heavier and heavier, my arm gets more and more tired. And then it becomes numb. And I don't know what to do about my arm now. Now I'm worried about my arm. What am I going to do? It's getting heavier and heavier and heavier. What do I do? What do I do? And then I realize if I put down the glass, if I slow down, take a break, put the glass over here, I will get a chance to potentially slow down on my worry. So I've given you a couple of challenges as we've been talking right now. And, I was thinking, in this time, where did it go? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notes real quick about where we're at. So we are going to pause, slow down, and remember what God has done for us. We're going to remember what God has done for us. And that will help us to focus on Him. It will help us to put our glass of worries down. It will help us to focus on what God has given us. And we're going to enjoy our food. We're going to take a bite and taste how good it feels to eat food. Oh, now I'm thinking about my delicious sandwich that I had for lunch today, and how wonderful it tastes and how it's such a blessing from God. So would you guys mind praying with me? And I will see you hopefully this week online somewhere, maybe connected somewhere there. But I hope to talk to you and see you and connect more. All right. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this morning, that we get a chance to come together online, that while church is us, is not a building, Lord, that it happens with or without a building, and that we can meet together and come together and talk about the blessings that you have given us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, I will see you soon. All right, bye.